Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I am a nutrition entrepreneur. But here's the catch. I have a full-time traditional dietitian job. My entrepreneurial endeavors are my side hustle. I've been making six figures through my job and side hustle doing things that I love. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Welcome to the 35th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Should I Get My Master's Degree? So in today's episode, I just wanted to have a conversation with you guys and really share some of my thoughts and opinions about getting the master's degree as a dietitian. So many of you already know about the 2024 graduate degree requirement. So what this means is for new students going into the profession wanting to become dietitians, they will have to have a master's degree. So starting January 1st of 2024, the minimum degree requirement for eligibility to take the RD exam is changing from a bachelor's degree requirement to a graduate degree requirement, meaning dietitians are going to have at minimum a master's degree. Now, if you are a dietitian already before this date, you're not going to lose your RD. You're going to be grandfathered in. But this brings up an important conversation about, if I have my bachelor's degree only and not a master's degree, should I go back to school and get my master's degree? So if you're listening, you might be in a few boats. You might be a student who's going to be graduating before that requirement and trying to figure out, oh man, should I get my master's degree or not? Because I still have a choice right now. Maybe you're a dietitian right now who only has a bachelor's degree and you're trying to figure out, oh gosh, this is going to be the new requirement. I know I don't have to have it, but should I go back to school with it? Or maybe you're a dietitian, you already have your master's degree and you're just curious about this conversation, or maybe you've even chatted with your peers about this discussion. So, I do have my master's degree. I did a combined dietetic internship. I graduated in 2008, and I had, it was a 2-year combined program where I did my master's degree and got my MS in food nutrition with an emphasis in community nutrition from Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. So I do have my master's degree, but I do want to talk to you guys about continuing education. I always had this goal of going back to school and getting my doctorate degree. I had this goal, it was actually written down, and it was to have my doctorate degree by the time I turned 40. Now, I will tell you, the deeper I dove into the entrepreneurial world, I started realizing the pros and cons of continuing my education. Now, for me, I ended up taking that goal off the table. I decided that getting my doctorate was not worth the time, was not worth the money, and would not help me reach the career goals that I had. So we're going to open up this discussion. We're going to talk about, should you get your master's degree? I want to preface this with, it's your personal opinion, but I want to give you some ideas to think about as you formulate this opinion. So I do see from a lot of dietitians who are just bachelor's level dietitians, and they have a lot of worry and doubt over this new mandate. Their concern is, can I compete with dietitians who have the master's degree? Am I going to lose that contract gig? Am I going to lose this job opportunity? Am I going to not be able to move into this new area of dietetics because I'm going to be competing with other dietitians who have a master's degree and I only have a bachelor's degree? So I want to provide some information for you just to really think about. So if we look at the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, they have a compensation and benefit survey they do every couple of years, and it's just a small snippet of the population of dietitians, but it shows us that about half of dietitians who complete that survey already have their master's degree. So the reality is there's already about half of dietitians out there already who have master's degrees or higher. So, I guess thinking about this worry in the future, well, gosh, it's kind of already happening a little bit now. And all the dietitians who are bachelor's level, they're going to be on the same boat as you. So not every single dietitian come 2024 is going to have a master's degree. A lot of people are going to be grandfathered into the system. And the other thing to think about is that, in my opinion, experience trumps education. Your education, your master's degree is only one piece of the puzzle. We have to look at the totality of your resume. Do you have other specialty credentials? What is your job experience? What is your volunteer activities? Like looking at all of the different things on your resume, just having a master's degree isn't going to make someone, such a better candidate. It's about everything on the resume, everything they have to bring to the table. So I want you to think about that, but I also want to have you ask yourself, why do you want to get a master's degree? And then also ask yourself, what do you want to do within your career? So my biggest encouragement as you consider those two things is don't pursue the master's degree out of fear. Now, again, that fear could be, not being able to compete for a job, not getting a contract, all the things. If that is your only reason for going to get the master's degree, then I would encourage you to consider not getting that master's degree. And there's a couple reasons why. First off, going back to school takes a lot of time. Many of you going back to school, you'll still have a full-time job. So you're looking at adding on part-time school. A lot of you, depending on where you are in your life, you might have children, you might have other commitments in your life that keep you busy. So what you're looking at is the next, 2, potentially 3 years of going back to school for your master's degree being really tight for time, because we know when you go to school, it's not just a matter of I'm in school for this many hours, period. You're in school for so many hours, plus you are studying for so many hours. And honestly, when you're not in school, when you're not studying, you're probably thinking about stuff you need to study. You're thinking about that exam. You're preparing for that exam. So really, school takes over your life. Really for the entire time you're in it. There really is no off time. It's not like I get off work, I stop thinking about work, I'll deal with it when I come back the next day. It is something where it's just on constantly. So considering that it is going to be a massive time commitment, it's going to take you away from other potential things. And it's also going to cost a lot of money. Now, there's a lot of different programs out there and the price varies. I was recently talking to a really amazing dietitian in the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook community, and she was struggling with this very issue of, I'm a bachelor's level dietitian. I feel like I need to go back to school to get my master's degree because she's a consultant dietitian. So she gets different gigs as a dietitian, and she was worried that she won't get these gigs if she's competing against a master's level dietitian. Now, the school she was looking at, she shared with me, costs $53,000. And that's a lot of money. That is a good chunk of change. Now, I want you to hear me when I say I don't think there's anything wrong with going back to school. If you are passionate about going back to school, getting your master's degree, it's something you've always dreamed of, you're so passionate about it, 100% you should pursue it. But if you're only considering getting your master's degree out of fear, out of worry, out of self-doubt, then again, I'd encourage you to put on the brakes and stop and really think about it. Think about what you want to do with your career. Now, and also think about, is that master's degree going to help me make more money, advance my career, get to where I want to get? So I mentioned I changed my goal of wanting to get a doctorate degree to taking that off the table completely. And that is because I started diving into the online world of entrepreneurship, realizing that I could take online courses, do coaching programs, get involved in masterminds, and learn real life skills that will help me make money and also help to encourage me to go out there and do the things that I'm passionate about at a fraction of the cost of a master's degree, or in my case, it would be like a doctorate degree. So for me, if I were to go back to school right now to get my doctorate, I've got 2 kiddos in the house, I've got a husband, I've got my side hustle, all the things, I would have to choose something to put on hold. It would probably be my side hustle because I need my full-time job, for the income right now. So I would be in a situation of, really being busy all the time for a couple of years to get the doctorate. Once I get it, it really won't help advance me in my career goals. I really enjoy my full-time job and don't have any intention of leaving. A doctorate degree would not help me get a higher level of pay within my job. It wouldn't help me make more money within my side hustle. It would really just be, some extra credentials behind my name. So for me, again, that's why I took it off the table, because I realized, my goodness, I can take an online course. And that is how I started my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian. It all started with taking an online course. I learned real skills on how to build my website through search engine optimization. And here I am out, a year and a half later, and I'm making over $2,000 a month in passive income through the blog. Now, I definitely spent way less money on this online course than I would have at school. And I only spent a fraction of the time learning. And it's also not just about learning, guys. It's about action. It's about starting. It's about doing the thing. We have to learn and do and learn and do. And the thing about school is you spend all your time learning. When you're doing an online course or an online program, you are learning, but you're also out there taking action and doing things and actually making money. So if you are someone who is trying to figure out, man, I want to make more money, I'm worried about, should I get my master's degree or not? Again, ask yourself, why do you want to get that master's degree and what do you want to do within your career? Now, if you have decided, I want to start blogging, I want to have an online course, I want to start providing medical nutrition therapy, get reimbursed through insurance, I want to start coaching, whatever you decide, there's so many cool online courses, coaching programs, and masterminds you can be a part of for a fraction of the price of going back to school. I mean, we're talking anywhere from maybe $1,000 to $5,000 for amazing programs that they'll take some time and effort, but you'll take the program, you'll implement the strategies, and in less time than it would take you to get a master's degree, you would be making significantly more money and making a lot more impact and not have more student loans looming over your head. So, when I was talking to that awesome dietitian and she shared, she did decide she wasn't going to pursue her master's degree, which for her was a good choice. But that $53,000 to go back to school, I was like, man, she could take all of the programs from all those amazing dietitians out there. And I'm thinking of, I've got my program, the Blogging Accelerator program. I'm a big fan of the Unconventional RD's SEO Made Simple program. I've heard great things about Tony Stefan's dietitian nutrition coaching program from, just in the last episode, I talked about all the different dietitian business coaches. And again, I've heard great things about all of them and their programs. I'm like, dang, for $53,000, you could probably take you could probably take all their courses for that price. Not that I'm saying you should figure out what you want to do and focus on one thing at a time. But again, for a fraction of the price, for a couple $1,000s, you could learn real life skills to be making money and making impact and doing what you're passionate about. So I know I'm kind of going all over the place in this conversation, but I hope that I'm bringing up some ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of before, realizing that a master's degree is just one piece of your resume. A lot of dietitians already have it. Experience and the totality of what's on your resume is going to trump one line that says you have a master's versus a bachelor's degree, because ultimately you still have the RD, you still are a dietitian. And then also recognizing that there are so many opportunities for you to learn online, learn practical skills, start a side hustle, make money, make impact, do something you're passionate about. And it's going to take a fraction of the price, a fraction of the time, and it won't be something that, again, takes years away from what you're doing. So coming back to my question I asked at the beginning, should I get my master's degree? So this entirely depends on you. Now, if you are passionate about getting your master's degree, it has been on your bucket list, it is what you want to do, you care deeply about it, 100%, go back, get your master's degree. Yeah, it's going to cost money. Yeah, it's going to take time. But if it's part of your goals and something you want to do, of course there's value in it. But if you are only considering going back to school to get your master's degree due to fear, due to worry, due to doubt, you're scared you're going to lose money, you're going to lose opportunities, then 100% no, you should not get your master's degree, because that's not the way we should approach things. That fear and doubt you have, that is really something related to mindset. And even if you get your master's degree, you probably will still have a level of those doubts and those mindset issues. So if you are in that situation, then I encourage you to consider, what do you want to do within your career? Is there something you could do online through an online program? Again, in the last episode, we talked about tons of different dietitian business coaches and opportunities. And again, a lot of those dietitians, they don't just offer coaching, they have courses and different programs where you can learn practical skills to start sooner than later, implementing, making money, making impact, and again, doing what you love. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I want you guys just to, I guess for your action item, again, just self-reflect on, if you are a student, do I want to get my master's degree? If I'm a bachelor's level dietitian, do I want to go back to school and get my master's degree. And again, if you already have your master's degree and this just might be something to have discussion with your peers as you consider, what is life going to look like as dietitians in the future. And for the bachelor's levels dietitians, what is the best choice for them? So again, this is just my opinions, my thoughts, and I hope that it was helpful for you guys to kind of figure out what you should do. Again, my opinion really would be take advantage of online programs and coaching opportunities. I will tell you, for me, when I first started, it felt very foreign to spend such a large amount of money for an online course where, it was perfectly fine to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on school. But I hope that those of you who are interested in doing some of the things we talk about in Dietitian Side Hustle, that you'd consider, again, there's so many opportunities, and the benefit of spending that money in online courses is that it enables you to make money sooner than later. And again, to just start taking action and have fun with your side hustle. So anyways, I'm starting to feel like a broken record. So thanks so much for listening, guys. One last thing before I go, if you are not a part of our Facebook group, Dietitian Side Hustle, I would encourage you to go to Facebook, search Dietitian Side Hustle, find our group, request to join, and join our growing group of Dietitian Side Hustlers. We have over 2,000 dietitians in there who are just like you, who either are looking to start a side hustle, who have a side hustle, who are looking to level up their side hustle. So we'd love to have you join the group. So thanks so much for listening to this episode, and I'll chat with you next time.